Poverty is like a punishment for a crime you didn't commit. I invite you all to close your eyes and visualize this. When was the last time you had to worry about putting food on the table? When was the last time you saw a child in need but decided to ignore them? Now, if you were to help someone rebuild their lives, what would you do? Would you give them food, financial support? Would you supply them with hygiene essentials? But what about the concept of comfort? Now open your eyes. Look at this number. What do you think this number represents? I'll explain at the end. A shocking amount of children in poverty lack access to life essentials. There are 2.2 billion children in the world, and half that number of children lives in a state like this. Unsafe neighborhoods, unhygienic households, limited nutritional foods, and uncomfortable periods of sleep. Those are the hardships that people in poverty face. When having meetings with the Indonesian Street Children Organization, also most commonly referred as the ISKA Foundation, I was curious what the view of the life that the street kids had. What the ISKA representative told me is that the kids feel displaced, angered, and hoping they lived a different life. We don't have to adopt such a mindset. Everyone in this room is fortunate to cherish the lives we have, confident in the promise of both today and tomorrow, with opportunities awaiting us along the way. Throughout my life, I've been privileged to experience many adventures. From hiking the Fan Mountains of Tajikistan, to going on campground trips across Europe. Yet it also brought me to meet many people experiencing a completely different lifestyle from me. During the hikes in Tajikistan, I walked by many families living in yurts. They offered us bread and yogurt without us asking or paying for. Their generosity and consideration to strangers really changed the approach I had towards those who have less. Their altruism, even with so little, showed their enormous capacity to give. For me, I don't have to worry I won't get food tomorrow. I get to eat healthy foods that fill me up while others starve. I go to a school that provides great education while some children don't get any. I have parents who support me in whatever I am passionate about while some children don't get the opportunity. And I live in a comfortable home with a shelter over me while some live in unstable housing. To be entirely transparent with you, it makes me feel guilty that I get this life. It makes me feel guilty that I am an element of this issue. I've walked and ignored so many people throughout my life begging for the simplest needs, yet I still see myself ignoring them. I have tried multiple ways to help, but when there's so many people dealing with some sort of a similar situation like this, it almost feels overwhelming to help. How is it that we are thriving while some people are just struggling to survive? It's crucial to acknowledge how fortunate we are to have this existence. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is something that really connected to me and my project. It's a model that tells all the essential things that a human needs to be the best version of themselves. There are 5 layers in total. The physiological needs covers basic necessities like food, water, shelter, and sleep. The second layer, safety needs, includes personal security, resources, and others. Love and belonging, in my view, is deeply significant, involving family, friendships, and being part of a community. Esteem layer talks about respect, freedom, and recognition. And last layer, the self-actualization, desiring to be the most you can be. Being part of a safe space, surrounded by the people you care about, definitely changes the perspective of life. This is what makes you feel loved, but these children are wishing for these basic needs to be met, while experiencing a sense of love and belonging. As I mentioned before, I connected with an organization called ISKA Foundation, located in Jakarta, to help reduce children poverty across Indonesia, specifically in Surabaya and Jakarta, Indonesia's 2 largest cities. When they started this organization in 1999, they started off with 50 children. By 2019, they've educated and supported over 2,200 children. What's great about this organization, and what especially stood out to me, is it supports education from kindergarten all the way throughout high school. They not only promote education, but also prioritize healthy eating, giving the children the nutrition they need. Additionally, they supply activity centers so that the children get some source of entertainment. Heba Sita Butar is the Communications and Public Relations of ISKA Foundation. I had meetings with her, and she really helped me develop my quest. The main issue that the children face is that there's no parent to take care of them, since the parents have to work all day to provide for their families, but the parents don't have any opportunities to give to their children. This expresses their level of independence and maturity. My options of helping these street kids was very limited, but I still wanted to do the best I could and find a possible way. I've always had pleasure in crafting, and I knew that once Quest hit, I wanted to use my skills in crafting and help them and connect them to help society. What inspired me to do this for my quest was when I got the privilege to travel around East Africa last winter break. Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia, stood out to me. From the kids begging for money, asking for food and water, it hit me that I wanted to help them. Although I may not have been impacting those children in Ethiopia, Indonesia was the first step. And that is how I came up with Intertwine, the intersection of the hobbies that I like to do, and my wanting and to understand and emphasize with other people more. With that, intertwining that with people who need it. Comfort. Comfort is a basic need, whether it's the coziness of home or the support of loved ones. For my quest, I crafted a multifunctional blanket that can be used as a mat to sit on or as a blanket. Hopefully, with the help of my blanket, I can show the love and support that the children are wishing for. Not only would it comfort them in that kind of way, but it'll make them sleep better through the nights. All of my products are made out of recycled materials, out of old fabrics and clothing. The process of making my blankets was labor intensive, but I knew it was going to go to great use. I started out cutting out old fabrics into squares and patches. Luckily, I had old baby blankets given by airlines from a while ago. And since the quality of those blankets wasn't great, I intertwined the patches and the blanket to create more comfort. I tried different sewing techniques and patterns, and here are some of the ones that I've created. The blankets may seem small, but they're perfect for younger children. But I knew that the organization I was donating to was inclusive of all ages. I had to come up with a blanket double the size. While brainstorming a new idea, I came across an idea of using gently used sheets and gently used fabrics. And that's how I came up with my final product. Just to let you know, more than 10 hours of effort put into each of my blankets. Each blanket contains a memory from all of my family members, and every time I look at the blankets, it creates a memory and it makes me smile. And hopefully, I can spread to the children and they could create a memory of their own. Finally, with the main material of a sewing machine and my hands, I was able to create 8 blankets with my mom. Each blanket is washable, breathable, and comfortable. I also embroidered empathetic quotes. Each quote is a positive affirmation written in Bahasa to empower the children. I really want to show and express the love and support that the children are needing. And even though they might be in a hard place right now, things will improve over time. And sometimes, maybe they just need a hug, and hopefully they can feel a sense of that with the help of my blankets. The whole process of Quest made me realize I'm fortunate in ways previously taken for granted. It made me realize that I'm loved and cared for, and I'm comfortable in the situation I'm in. And I wish that everyone could be and feel this way. With you guys watching, I hope I can inspire you to help others in your own way. Understand their perspective and where they're coming from. I think that any loving act, even if it's only momentary, has a limitless power for good. Meaning that any act that you might be doing may be small, it always changes something. And I try to do that and hopefully can change something for the better. Now, do you remember the number? This was the number. This number represents the amount of children that has died from January 1st, 2024. The second number has increased by 200, meaning 200 children has died just throughout my speech. In the past 10 minutes, 200 children has died. By the end of 2024, 6.2 million children under the age of 15 will die due to poverty, mostly from preventable causes. I have learned a lot over the past few months. The main realization and the shocking truth is I never realized how bad the situation was for many children. The commitment and the promise I have made for myself is I'll do any way I can to reduce the number, and I hope you can too. Thank you. I would like to express some of my gratitude towards those who turned my quest into reality. My mom for being there and providing me with a lot of help with my blankets. My dad for being there for the whole time of my quest and supporting me with my speech. And finally, my teachers, guiding me the whole way of Quest. Thank you.